Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Today we'll take a look again on the Great British Pound. But in general, the similar scenario you could suggest for euro currency. We are following the Great British Pound mostly because from the strategical point of view, it brings, if you could call it, larger scale or strategical scale of the actions or the swings, market swings that really could appear here in the nearest time during the coming year. It's really amazing. So that's why we're talking on the Great British Pound. Also, it's very bright picture from the fundamental point of view. We'll take a look at the statistics and the fundamental analysis of what is going on in the United Kingdom and the public opinion that who expected that rate hiking should happen soon. That was our bet. Our stake on the last week, that's probably this contradiction between the public opinion and reality that indeed stands in the fundamental picture in the United Kingdom. So this has worked, and based on the Bank of England decision, we see the real screaming plunge on the Great British Pounds, really absolutely outstanding. So this action was in fact the cornerstone for medium-term perspective, and this is the driving swing that brings the confirmation on the bearish scenario on the medium-term perspective on Great British Pound. So that's why the attractiveness of the analysis of the Great British Pound stands in the clarity that right now we've got the direction. All that we need to do is just to apply our technical tools to get the right point for taking the short position or scale in for those of you who already have the short position on the Great British Pound. Because we think that with some pauses, the downward action will continue and will last for a considerable period of time. Just to give you the scale of this possible action, so our nearest target on the monthly chart stands right here, is 145 lows. That will be medium-term destination point for us. But on the way down, we will get a lot of opportunities for possible trading, since market will show the retracements and a downward continuation. But the major point is that we have the direction. And how we will trade inside of it, it's not really a big problem for us. On the euro currency, guys, we also assume approximately the same scenario because the monetary policy of the Bank of England and European Central Bank mostly the same. They are mostly dovish in relation to the United States dollar, in relation to the Federal Reserve policy, and in the European Central Bank, even more dovish than in the United Kingdom because they also have announced the increasing of the scale of the quantitative easing program in December. Also, they have given a hint on the possible negative rates, small rate decrease could happen in December. So that's why here we expect the drop to 145. On the euro currency, we expect first action to the 104. Its next destination, and the next step will be the roll to the parity. As probably our medium-term expectation on the euro currency. Well, we definitely prepare the weekly research on the euro maybe on the next week. We will not abandon it totally. If we will get some clear setups on the within the next week, we definitely will prepare the daily update. But right now, our opinion that the Great British Pound brings more clear picture with the greater patterns, brighter patterns, and that's why it's more attractive for the weekly research than the euro currency. So, that's been said, we also have put very nice fundamental research from the Alpha Now, Phantom Consulting, on the recent Bank of England decision. So if you would like to read it, be our guest. So in the corresponding thread on the forum, you could read this update. It's very informative. It's very good research. Now on the technical picture. So as you can see, by this drop low, our market almost has accomplished our short-term targets. First of all, it has taken out of these lows, taken out of this support area, has broken down and triggered the stops that have been placed here, and almost at once has reached 127 support. This is destination point of the butterfly pattern. What we could do, what we could think about overall situation by looking on this picture. First of all, you see the market stands at very strong support. This is destination point of the butterfly. This is fib support, 50.86, and take a look, market deeply oversold. It means that the odds suggest that bounce is really very probable right now. This market could turn to some relief, take some pulse in downward direction, and could show some bounce. Second moment is that this bounce probably will not be really small, since market is oversold. So we should expect some moderate retracement, not very small. Should be some relatively deep retracement. And finally, we probably will get the further continuation to the next destination points, 1618. Target of the butterfly that stands at 148. This will be next our target after this area. Also, guys, if you will take a look at the weekly chart, you will see that 148 area is also the weekly oversold. So that will be our next destination. Hardly it will be reached in the next week, but this is just the next step on the way down. And this continuation probably will follow. Just take a look at the scale, at the pace of this drop, the speed of this drop. So it's very, very fast action. That's why probably I'd suggest in general the rules of the trading of the butterflies tells that if you will see the acceleration right to the first target, expect then moving to the next target after some minor bounce, or even without a bounce. But in our case, bounce probably will happen mostly due to the reversal. So that being said, our trading plan suggests that downward action should continue. But first, in the beginning of next week, we probably will get some bounce. Now let's try to estimate the possible target of this bounce. Since it hasn't started yet, we just see the final point of the drop here. Also, guys, take a look. The market simultaneously has hit 1618 target of this A, B, C top pattern, 1618 target. So we have also an agreement on the daily chart. So since we do not have any patterns yet here, the logical suggestion could be made that probably retracement could reach as far as 152 area. Because 51.80, 52, because this is will be the weekly pivot point. And take a look, that will be lower border of the confidence resistance, 152.10, 152.50 area. Okay, so it's logical to suggest that market could reach this area by this bounce. Also, guys, this area will be important because technically we do not want to see returning back inside of this broken triangle, because this will be not very pleasant sign for bulls. Retesting of the lower body, this is okay. This market, for example, reach this area, retest it, and then drop lower. But returning back inside of it, well, this will be a bit tricky moment here. And personally, I don't want to see this return and hold the market above this broken line if you would like to take the short position. So that's another moment that we should watching on the coming week. Maybe here we could get some Jod-Naplet pattern, so we can see thrust down is very nice. Maybe we will get some double repo pattern, or maybe bread and butter, but for bread and butter it's a bit far standing levels. It's too large area between this point and the fib level. So hardly we will get the bread and butter, but maybe double repo buy that will trigger this upward action. So that's what we'll be watching for in the coming week. First, in the beginning of the week, expect some bounce up. Maybe some patterns will be formed. And the second, we will be looking for resistance areas for trying to take the short position and the further continuation down on the Great British Pound.